Hey everyone, so in this video I'm going to go over the booklet rubric, some examples, and then how to get started in Canva. So for this project you're going to be creating a 6-page book, and your book will tell a story or document something about your time at home. It could be like a neighborhood photo walk, a cookbook, a thank you book to a family member, a quarantine graphic novel, a tour of your garden, etc. So any other ideas are great. You want to include at least six pictures to tell your story. At least a picture per page, but you'll probably want to include more pictures than that. The pictures could be photographs or digital illustrations done on Photopea or another program, or hand-drawn illustrations. Your pictures should follow best practices. So if you're doing photography, you want to follow the photo best practices that we talked about earlier this year. If you're doing illustrations, you want to follow and think about the elements of art, things like line, shape, color. You also want to use some writing to tell your story. It could be a lot of writing or just a little, up to you, but it should be at least a few sentences on each of the inside pages so that you're able to communicate your ideas and communicate your story that you're trying to share as effectively as possible. Anytime we do writing, no grammar big five mistakes. Design-wise, the page designs should be creative and complex. We want it to look like they were made in a design program like Canva, not just on a Google Doc. The layout for every page should look different. And what I mean by that, in the Gourmand, which we looked at earlier, page 18, page 19, there are 2 pages, but the layouts are obviously really different, right? This one has a pink background. This is a picture in half in color, half in black and white. Page 20, 21, also different layouts. But each page has a few design elements that are similar so that it looks like a cohesive magazine that's all one thing. So in the Gourmand, they have text, like the main text is the same size, same color, and it has these lines on either side on multiple pages. Think about the design best practices that we've talked about, things like alignment, hierarchy, typography. Using copyright-free Canva images in addition to your own is fine, but we don't want to be using things that are copyrighted by someone else. So what I mean by that is you don't want to go to a famous artist's website and take their work off the website to use in your own work. Take some time after this video to look through all of these examples. I think they'll give you a better idea of what we're doing. In my class these past few years, we've also made booklets, but the topics and the rubric are different. So if I look at Tazib's booklet, it looks great. It's uploaded on Issue. It's about a biology class experiment. So the topic is much different, but her layout still looks great, and it can hopefully give you some design ideas for your own book. I've also included some other examples of how pages could be laid out. For these 2 pages, I was going for just sort of like documenting things that have been interesting that I've been seeing over these past few weeks. So this page has pictures from a church near my house that I've been walking by every morning, and the text explains that. And this page has a picture of my lovely new dog and a paragraph about how great he is. And you guys can see, like, in these layouts, they would plan to be viewed side by side. The text is the same size, same color, so that makes it look like it's one book, but the actual layout and design is obviously really different on both pages. Here's another example that was created by my brother. And his book idea was about baking, so it's sort of like a baking cookbook. The design also looks good, looks different on the pages. When you guys get started with this, you could start out on this project two different ways. You could start by collecting all of your pictures first, or you could take it page by page and create the designs as you go. It's up to you. When you are ready to get started designing in Canva, you're going to create a new US letter document. And I'm just going to open up this one that I already have. On your last page, you can add new pages. You want to have 6 pages in total. So just click that to add onto your new pages. And as you get started working, you want to be using, I think, a lot of the elements. So thinking specifically about things like shapes and lines to add some decoration and interest into your design. You can use the square rectangle shapes as backgrounds to highlight around the text. I use that on both of my pages. Grab the text up here, and you'll probably want to add some kind of background to each of your pages, even if it's just some kind of like neutral colored texture. On all of my pages, I have a lot of different things going on, and I focused a lot on arranging everything perfectly based off of the design best practices. So I thought a lot about alignment, making sure things center and line up. I thought about the color schemes, making sure I didn't use too many colors, and making sure that the text was big enough to read. The text size that I went with was 16. Down here, I think this can help you. As I was working, I was zooming in and zooming out of my design so I could see it full screen but also see the little details. And I think this could also be helpful for, or not that, nope. I think this, the arrows could also be helpful for you, being able to see your design full screen with a black background. Okay, good luck. Please email me if you guys have any questions.